got a model. Oh. What's bigger than you think?
Is your first time in Cozumel?
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
That makes this country. Mexico City is for us what Washington D.C. is for you in the U.S. In case you don't know, it is right here where we are.
Okay.
Cozumel is the easiest of this country. There is nothing farther to the east. It is an island, but also it's a county on its own.
Okay.
So then there is a mayor of Cozumel. Cozumel is one out of 11 counties that make the state of Quintana Roo. And then we have the upper level of authorities. We have the governor of the state, and then finally the state of Quintana Roo is part of the federal union. Then we have the president of the Mexican United States. So the question is, if Mexico is not the name of this country, so then what is Mexico?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me have you discover Mexico. I will have you further ahead going to a gallery of popular arts where you will get to see pieces like this from all over the country.
Okay.
All right? They all have in front a description card that it points you out at Mexico's map where that piece come from. And you find a technical description about it. But don't get too technical. What I need you to see through these pieces is quite simple. Picture this. Early the time when the first Mayans got into this region of Chiapas, and when those Mayans ran into these creatures, back that time they didn't have all this technology that we have now.
Right.
Back that time these people didn't even have a word that described these creatures. So in order to be able to tell others about these creatures, they got to use any material available in that region. So you will notice the geography of Mexico is so diverse. So artisans take advantage of any type of materials to build something similar. That way, no matter the limitation of the dialects, they can explain to others that if you go to this jungle in Chiapas, you're going to run into these creatures. So you see, through all of these pieces that we're about to see, what these people get to see that are around there, what's important for them, what they believe on, all right? Very good. I will have you now watching a video.
Okay.
At this video, you will realize that Mexico is so diverse. It's like many countries together in one central. All right? Please come with me. This mural is what I want to show you and talk to you about. It's a little bit closer if you want to so you can see it better. And as you can tell, what the artist wanted to do here, he wants to remark that thing that best represents that region. So we can get to see either the typical fauna from that region, flora, people who live there, Also, while you're observing this mural, you can get to see at this mural many of those things that you saw in the video, and that will give you an idea where those things that you saw in the video happen. Perhaps. Did any of you notice about the whales?
Yes.
You did? That happens here in Baja California, where we have the honor to have those whales coming from Alaska to have their babies here, and then they go back to Alaska. So at least we can say these whales got to be Mexican by birth. Right?
Right.
Okay. Amigos, did already, millions of them. So what do you mean that Columbus came to discover America, right? According to the experts, the first one showing up in here, the Olmecas, you know? They say they show up there more than 4,000 years ago, you know? We also saw the videos, this dancing from the Zapotecas in the state of Oaxaca. We saw the video and we will get to see it alive, this ritual from the Totonacas in the state of Veracruz. You might notice the video about the Toltecas, the Atlantes from the Toltecas in the state of Hidalgo. I'm mostly Chichimeco. My people come from down this region, but I don't see us from here. I guess we're not that important, you know? One of the most outstanding civilizations, one of the most complete. And after all these years, we found out very smart people, by the way. I'm talking to you about the Mayans. Mayans took those territories and I will call El Salvador, down here, part of Honduras, Guatemala, Belize, Chiapas, Tabasco, and the peninsula of Yucatan. All this in here comes to be the Mayan territories. Since you know that it's in here where we are, so that means, people, you are deep into these Mayan territories today. So, I'm glad they don't perform human sacrifices, no, you know. But it is very common to get to hear them speaking Maya. So many people ask, why did Mayans disappear? They didn't disappear. They're still alive. They just don't live nearby the temples, you know.
Right.
They have their communities. However, the strongest influences in here, the people who came here to get all these territories united, and the reason why we keep on calling this country Mexico, even when we are aware that Mexico is not the name of this country, this time I'm talking to you about the Aztecs. They say Aztecs came from some place where now it's called California in the US. And the legend says that when those people were there in California, one of their gods commanded them to go out and look for one sign. Wherever they get to see that sign is going to point them out the place where they should settle down. Well, that sign in the Aztec language is called Mexico. Spanish people pronounce it Mexico. And you guys pronounce it Mexico.
Okay.
So then, Mexico is the sign that got all these cultures, all these people united. They say it took them over 200 years for the Aztecs to come from California down to this valley where they finally found it. A royal eagle fighting this rather thing beside an agate. I have one question for you. Can you picture the Mexican flag?
Picture the what?
The Mexican flag.
Oh, yeah.
Precisely, that precisely was in the middle of the Mexican flag.
Yes.
So when you see the Mexican flag and the word Mexico comes to your mind, it's because of the sign that you get to see in the middle of the Mexican flag. However, once again, you know the name of this country is the Mexican United States. So if we divide the territories by states, I'm sure that any of you will guess the name of this state. Correct. See, sarcastically, it is the largest one. You know? Amigos, ideologically speaking, Mexico means all what your eyes can see with you as part of it. So you were part of it. You are part of it. You don't own the place. You're not the owner. You are part of it. Native Americans, they have their own identity. You can perfectly distinguish one group of people from another by the physical features. The way they dress, the colors they wear, also the way they talk. So that means in Mexico, besides Spanish, the government recognized 68 other languages that these people are still speaking. So when you go to school, here in Mexico, there will be now one day when teachers will come and say, children, write this down. Back in 1519, we had someone called Hernán Cortés coming here, and they conquest everybody here. End of the lesson. And then you wonder, wait a minute, we were supposed to be great warriors, and we were millions. So what do you mean that a few Spanish men came here, and then these few Spanish men were able to conquest millions of people? Sounds impossible. The key of the conquest is religion. Somehow, it to the fact that the natives, they had a prophecy about having some divine beings coming from the ocean. So when they saw the Spanish people coming from the ocean, and then the Spanish people came here wearing those shiny armors, you know, walking funny and riding horses. So this is one man, 4 legs. I guess it's understandable. These native days, they can welcome those visitors and welcome them and treat them as gods. You know, big mistake. Those Spanish people brought new diseases to these territories that it kills around 60% of the population back that time. You know, within time, yes, there was war. Actually, Aztecs were this close to beat the Spanish, you know, but still, the key of this conquest is religion. And let me show that to you. I would like to recall your attention to this one piece. This one piece comes from the region of Michoacán, where we have the Otomís. Those people, they talk about mermaids, you know. Don't ask me why, but they talk about mermaids. And believe in mermaids. So if you take that people who talk about mermaids and force them to become Catholic, this is the fusion of those two worlds. Can you figure this out? Exactly, see? But instead of 12 apostles, 12 mermaids. Right?
I like that.
Very good. Amigos, back that time, there was no legal currency. So the way for all these people to do business, they used to trade goods. You know? So they must put some value on those goods. Alright? Let me recall your attention to this one piece now. This one in here comes from the region of Oaxaca. Besides the amazing job that we can get to see, what is expensive here is the material. You know, the material is such a rare material that people down there in Oaxaca use it to create jewelry. You know, so these people rather to wear jewelry out of black clay instead of gold. See? So we're changing the values here. This is the way to explain to us about the monarch butterfly, which, by the way, we found these butterflies come all the way from Canada to Mexico, you know, and arrived there to Michoacán. Let me tell you, the arrival of these monarch butterflies matches the dates of the Day of the Dead. So people down there, they believe that when it is the Day of the Dead, we have all these monarch butterflies coming, and those are the souls of all those dead people who's coming back to visit. So some people represent through these butterflies, you know. We were saying natives, they have their own identities, therefore they also have their own traditions, their own festivals, and their own customs. But one of those traditions that most people share in this country is that one tradition that we call the Day of the Dead. Now, the Day of the Dead is not about getting costumes on and going out to the street to misbehave and get some candies, you know. The Day of the Dead comes to be a personal thing.
Right.
It applies to you only in that case that if you have a loved one who has already passed away. If you don't, then there is nothing for you to do at the Day of the Dead. But in case you do, November 1st, when we're talking about a child, November 2nd, when you're talking about a grown-up, people will build an altar similar to these ones in honor to those people, either at the cemetery, as you might notice on the video, but people used to do this at home. You know? You get a picture of that one person that you're missing, and then as simple as this, it's going to be your job to spend that one day exploiting that person as if this person were actually here.
Okay.
So you got to get up early in the morning to bring some breakfast, and besides, he loves ham and eggs for breakfast, and bring ham and eggs for breakfast. If we're talking about a child, you better bring some toys and candies, so the child will be here playing with the toys and eating those candies. I don't know if we're talking about grandpa, and that grandpa used to drink some tequila at noon. So then you come at noon with grandpa's brand, Hey grandpa, I got your tequila here, enjoy it, but don't drink it all, you know how you get. So you better take something for me. And just like that, you talk to that person, pretending that person is listening to you and answering you back. I suppose the bottom line got to be not to forget about the walking out random, right?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
What is the date?
November 1st and 2nd.
Yeah. The 4th and the 2nd?
First and
Oh,
second.
the 1st and 2nd.
So first for children, second for adults.
Yeah, they are my.
And if you're in San
they
Antonio,
got
you
one
can
every year.
Okay.
Let me tell you this, a very common question. Many people ask, so why we get to see so many skeletons everywhere? Well, if you come here on November 1st and 2nd, pretty much it's because of the Day of the Dead. But all year around, you can get to see this character everywhere. The same way as you in the U.S., you have Mickey Mouse, and we get to see Mickey Mouse everywhere, and wearing different things, In Mexico, we have this very popular character. This character is called La Catrina, This one in particular is wearing pink, riding a bicycle, but you can find La Catrina wearing any other color, showing your leg, sitting, doing anything else, all right? This character was created in the time of the revolution, the Mexican Revolution, early the 1900s, all right? The Mexican Revolution, you might hear names such as Pancho Villa, Emiliano Zapata, The Mexican Revolution, in brief, was the poor against the rich, the lower class against the upper class, the natives against the Europeans. Well, from back that time, this is the way of the natives to make fun out of the Europeans. Exactly, it's making you laugh, so it makes us laugh. This character became so popular, so we can get to see it everywhere. All right? You will notice these artists have developed, they're still working with different type of materials, such as paper mache, wood. You can also see some of these people's traditions in these pieces.
Very interesting.
You can also see these people everyday life through these pieces. The way how they dress, what they do for a living. You can also see they take advantage of any type of material to create art, such as phone hairs.
That's interesting.
When you get to see a piece like this,
Everything is very colorful.
everything is very colorful. You are right on that. When you get to see a piece like this, well, you can get a lot of information out of this piece.
Makes me hungry.
Well, yeah. You can get to see all the type of fruit that we can get to see down there in Oaxaca. You can get to see how people look like down there in Oaxaca. Oaxaca, where the black clay, so the hat is made out of black clay, the way how they dress, and also you can tell that, hey, breastfeeding a baby in public is something that they find natural.
Right. Have you been to Mexico before? No, it's my first time. Oh, you sound very knowledgeable. I have.
No wonder they all became Catholic.
So I'm a little bit up on some Spanish stuff.
Same thing we can notice with these textiles. These textiles are from different regions, so we find different materials, different techniques. Even when these people talk about the same, it looks different. The roses from Yucatan look different from the roses from Oaxaca. Different type of symbols, perhaps this one comes from San Luis Potosí, and this symbol, wherever you get to see it, represents peyote. Have you ever heard peyote?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, in the nature, you're going to find many things that will give you a high. You know, peyote is a little cactus that will give you a high too. You know, but these people use it for ceremonies. It has something to do with the leaves. It's not like hanging out on the corner, eating peyote and checking on who's gonna, you know. It was a religious thing. These people were deeply religious. They used to believe for many, many gods. So when the Spanish people came here and they say, natives, listen now. This is Jesus Christ, the one that you should take as the only one Lord and Savior. As we say, they used to believe for many gods, so it was hard for the Spanish people having a native, forgetting about those other gods, to believe now in one God. So to make this conversion possible, they came with a brilliant idea. They say, natives, this is Jesus Christ. But you know one thing? His mother, she is native as you are people, and actually she comes from among your people. Look at her. And they gave her the Virgen de Guadalupe. Now when you look at her, she looks alike. She looks alike. According to this, she has spoken, and she spoke to all these pueblos in their languages. When she's able to speak any language. And if you notice this little detail right here, that's the belly, because at this image, she's supposed to be pregnant with Jesus. Which, if you think about it, that's going to make Jesus Mexican, right? I mean, yeah, the mother is Mexican, the son got to be Mexican. And she was the key to convert everybody to Catholic, and I believe she did an excellent work, because it is still, by this day, the most important religion in Mexico. You know, no overrating this, I will tell you, 90% of Mexicans remain Catholics. You know, so that's why this is also a very important icon. You know? And they put this image on top of a legend of the Aztecs. Mine is more important. You'll see that later on. Okay. We were talking about the Day of the Dead. By the way, did you get to see the movie Coco? Yeah?
Very good movie.
In that movie Coco appear some creatures, some mythical creatures we call alebrijes. That Oaxaca, where the Zapotecas, they believe that when you die, your spirit will leave your body and go somewhere. Well, when you deeply sleep and you have those vivid dreams, it's because your spirit has left your body and went that same place. You know? So to make sure that you're going to wake up next morning, you need a creature that go with you to that same place and make sure that you come back and wake up next morning. These are called alebrijes. It's one piece of wood, not just any kind of wood. It's copal. It grows down there in Oaxaca. Hand carved, then the wood must go through a treatment, then hand painted. Alright? So we all must have an alebrije to watch after us. If you cannot make yours because you don't have the skills, you can buy one. If you buy one, you got to name it, and you got to put it next to your bed and talk to it. You know, so the alebrije will get familiar to you, and will start following to that one place. I know. They like colors here, you know, colorful colors, brilliant colors. And this is a perfect sample of what I've been saying. These three pieces come from different regions, where we got different people with different point of view. You know, this one comes from Guerrero, and it's made out of dried peppers, real feathers, and pepper mache. The one in the middle comes from Oaxaca, is one piece of wood, hand painted. The third one comes from Chiapas, and it's made out of clay, also hand painted. So as you see, they're completely different. Different material, different techniques, they look different, but overall, they all are chickens. You know, same thing. Some other pieces made out of paper mache, made out of wood. Before the blender, This is the tool we use. We call molcajete to grind peppers and everything else. The cord from Michoacán and Guerrero. What is truly remarkable is all the details in the painting right there. And I'm sure that any of you will tell me what we use these glasses for. Exactly. See, somehow we got used to the shape of this glass as the margarita glass. A little one.
And do you have one for us?
I will give you. Yeah. Margarita is the most popular cocktail that we make out of tequila. Now, somehow, tequila is that spiritual drink that best represents Mexico. But since you notice that Mexico is so diverse, so that means besides the spiritual drink called tequila, there must be many other spiritual drinks. There are, such as mezcal, aguardiente, charanda, cañac, sotol, destilado, chavantú, bacanova, to mention some of them. Tequila is the spirit of the agave, but not just any kind of agave. There are more than 200 different classes of agaves. Tequila is the spirit of the blue agave, which, by the way, it grows endemically within a region that is called tequila. So the beverage took the name from the name of the region when it was created. So I guess that's one of the reasons why tequila got also an appellation of origin. The same way that no one can make champagne out of the region of Champagne in France, the same way no one can make tequila out of the region of tequila down here in Mexico. Alright? Amigos, the truth is, this is just a brief sample of it. We don't have in this gallery everything from everybody. I guess that would be impossible. But these pieces that we saw here has at least gave you a general view, a general idea how these people express themselves through art. You know, we get to see through these pieces what's important for them, what they believe on. We know that they work with different material, they got different techniques. Back that time, there was no legal currency. The way for all these people to do business, they used to trade with. Expert says the most valuable good back that time, cacao. You know? So then tell me if it's not true that these people were living in paradise. Because for them, morning grows on trees. You know? Cacao is the seed that makes chocolate. So, chocolate, as tequila, and many others that we will talk about is a gift from Mexico to the world. Yay. So I hope that you will like chocolate. The Totonacas welcome them and take Hernán Cortés all the way to the heart of the Aztecs, the great Tenochtitlan, the city that the Aztecs built where they found Mexico. So then here we have Hernán Cortés standing before Moctezuma, the emperor of the Aztecs. So Moctezuma offers to Cortés this beverage as a welcome drink. It is. Ingredients that you find here. I declare this.
Oh, excellent.
What ingredients you find in there?
Peppermint?
No. Cinnamon. We got a little bit of cinnamon in there. Yes.
Chocolate.
Water.
Cacao, exactly. Water. Is some water. There's no milk. No tequila. You know where you put it more right now. And then vanilla and brown sugar. Alright. Amigos, chocolate was meant to be a drink. You know? Exactly. You know, chocolate was meant to be a drink. And you know what? Got to be the first energy drink ever. Chocolate is going to give you a lot of energy. Chocolate was meant to be a beverage that you drink it bitter and forty, so chocolate is going to give you a lot of energy. But then, besides the energy, chocolate got a lot of benefit for you. Let me show you this chart in here. The most important, from my point of view, is chocolate will make you a happier person, whether you like it or not. You know, chocolate will help reducing the risk of getting cancer, reduces the risk of getting a stroke. You know, chocolate will make you a smarter person too. You know, and chocolate helps ladies on those days when they got little cranky when so you give them chocolate, a lot of chocolate. All right. Those cocoa trees, they don't just grow anywhere. They will grow within this belt, which is 20 degrees above the equator and 20 degrees below the equator. We brought some cocoa trees in here to show them to people, but you know, they just didn't grow. However, you have a picture of it right on the wall where you can see it. That's how the chocolate looks like. They grow these ones either in the trunk, on the branches, everywhere. When you open it, looks like this. It has all these white fleshy covering, the beans. So we get them out of the shell in here, put them together. The white fleshy thing will go through a fermentation process. There is nothing we can do. There is nothing we do. It will happen anyway. All right? So once that fermentation process is finished, we just put it on the ground, under the sun, to let it dry.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
What kinds of trees or where would you find these at? Where do you find this at? No. Like what kind of trees?
It is called cacao tree.
Okay.
The cacao tree.
And they're only like in Mexico or north and south of
The history of chocolate starts here in Mexico, but you know, when the European people came here, they found this beverage, they took cacao over to Europe. Europe is out of that belt, so it would not grow in Europe, but then they went down to Africa, and now Africa has become one of the biggest producers of cacao. But the history of chocolate starts here in Mexico.
Okay.
All right? So we dry it. When you dry it, looks pretty much like this. We got to roast it, and then we'll turn it into this. And then we peel the husks, you know, and we will get something.
The process.
Something that looks like this. It has no husks, so we just grind it. Cacao bean is mostly fat, 51% fat. Actually, when people ask for white chocolate is the fat of cacao plus other ingredients such as vanilla, sugars, you know. It's part of it's not a complete chocolate, but it's the fat of cacao. So when you grind these will turn into a paste. All right? Very good. Amigos, you ready to work?
Yes.
Let's get to work. Come with me.
You okay?
Oh, sorry.
They have set up this table ready for us. So I'm going to need two of you working on that one. Two of you working on that one. Two of you working here. Grinders, the right amount to make 2 tablets of chocolate.
Okay. I don't really taste the flavor.
Yeah.
It's so bitter. Yeah.
It's bitter. You go on the wrong side. The other one. There you go.
Okay, on this side.
Very good.
You're right.
I'm okay.
If any of you need help, I can help you out.
Go for it.
But that's the thing, you know. It is you ask for what makes the chocolate. I hope this increase your appreciation for chocolate. All right. I hope that all this work that we're doing here increase your appreciation for chocolate.
All right, let her do some, Ashley. Let her do some. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, no,
There we go, the hard way, yeah.
It's a muscle.
Yeah, get your muscle in there. Oh, okay.
It is
wild. Yeah.
Well, you notice that it got really loose, so all the cacao went through already. You're not even close. You need some help?
I got it.
All right, then I have a job for you. I have a task for you. Miss Judy,
Yes, sir.
I have a task for you. Grab two of them. Grab two of them. Grab two. And use them to get the cacao that is staying in the grinder.
Oh, I see.
There you go. Once you finish, you can
Okay.
do it then. Grab two of them and use them to get the cacao that is down here, there. We're trying not to waste that much because remember, cacao is money. Cacao is money.
How do you clean
You want to hook it?
She's the one in charge of doing that.
Put it in the dishwasher?
No.
They got to unassemble everything.
You're wasting time.
All right. We got some here. Okay. For the next step, I'm gonna need one of you having gloves on.
Okay.
So your shoes who's gonna take care of the next step. And then we're gonna add brown sugar and cinnamon. You will have a very good 70% cacao.
It's really hard.
Yes,
That's why we put the gloves on.
exactly. It's that to be
Yeah.
messy. Don't be gentle.
Oh.
Squeeze it.
Oh,
You know,
squeeze it in there.
actually the heat of your hands will have to melt.
Gotcha.
This is
That
it.
makes
This is
sense.
it. And that until you have a shiny ball of chocolate in your hand.
Okay.
Right, man?
And this is just brown sugar.
Brown sugar and cinnamon. Brings a bit of cinnamon.
all these down or you can wash?
We don't use them all every day, so
He's right.
but then
Usually most of the day, I can do this part.
there you go. See, you're getting there.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
It still seems a little grainy,
Grainy.
but
Keep pressing.
keep on going, yes.
Like dough.
No, you're good. I need to grind.
So the purpose of this is to get the ingredients
You're mixing
mixed up.
Exactly.
Give the
The
mixer.
heat of your hand will melt cacao, and the cacao will absorb sugar.
Okay.
The sugar. All right. Grab it, squeeze it,
Yeah,
change it
starts
for
to
the
get
man,
shiny
another.
The more together.
And then can I see your chocolate? You're ready for the next ingredient.
Okay.
Take a look on this one here. She is already there, so that's how your chocolate should look like. Okay? Stick a finger in there to make a little hole, because we're adding another ingredient to that.
Yeah.
Another gift from Mexico to the wall, vanilla.
Vanilla.
This is just pure vanilla now.
Ooh, it is.
It's pretty strong. Yeah.
You got it, Ashley? You want Janae to help?
She's not gonna help. I handed her gloves and she got mad at me.
Let me see how your chocolate goes. Almost there, almost there. Just a little work left to do. Perfect. You're ready for the next ingredient. Stick a finger in there. There you go. This is vanilla. One of those gifts from Mexico to the world. This is just pure vanilla. Smell it.
But don't taste it, it's bitter.
Yeah.
Don't taste it, it's bitter.
It's bitter. I've tried vanilla by itself. It's really bitter.
I bet it's good. It's very good.
Yeah, but it's
Perdón?
Not imitation.
Okay. I have a question for you all. Is any of you on medicine? If we offer you a margarita, should we put some tequila in there?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Are you ladies?
we're able to.
Yeah, you're
They're
over
all-
18?
Oh, yeah, 23 and 28.
Okay. Okay. You're over 18?
Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
Okay. Sí, todas con tequila.
I think we need our vanilla.
Yes. There you go. Stick a finger in there to make a little hole.
That was good.
There you go. Pure vanilla. Right, there you go. Keep on mixing.
Is this ready?
And then, yes, you are ready.
My cup is off.
There you go. Okay. Keep on mixing. Put the vanilla will.
Mix it in.
There you go.
Oh.
See? That was
Nice and
very
shiny.
good, very good, yes. Now, as you notice, right now is like a paste.
Right.
So we would have to put it in the fridge to cool it down and become a solid.
Okay.
You cut that in two.
Okay.
Half of that will go here, the other half will go in here. The intention is to make a tablet similar to this one. See?
Oh, I see. Okay.
So we put this paper to avoid having the chocolate getting a stick on the mold. Put your thumb, press it down,
Okay. There we go.
something like that. All right? Very good.
You want to do yours? I'm watching. You're watching.
Actually, here.
Yeah, you can do
Go
it.
on, go on. It's part of the fun.
Yeah. Here. I'll stand back here.
I did
And
this
put this
for
in
you.
here. So, here we go.
It's not a free ride.
Yeah.
I did the crank on the cake.
She did do the cranking, so.
Mrs. Risa, we're going to put all these chocolates together in the fridge. So to be able to recognize which one is the one that you made, sign it. Use the spoons
Too fun.
and get your initials, any symbol, happy face or a
I'm
heart,
doing the happy face.
flower or something.
Here you go.
I'm using the toothpick.
Very good. Once you're finished, you can remove your gloves. I'll leave it on the table and come back and collect it. So you can remove your gloves.
I just put my initial.
Sorry, my other hand occupied at the moment.
It's okay, it's okay.
It's just on my watch. Don't worry about it. You won't break it.
There you go.
That's fine.
Okay. Oh,
We were going to take a picture.
take it, take it.
Thank
Take it, take it.
Sorry.
It's okay, take it.
A what?
You don't ever did with your own chocolate? All right.
You took it. You took a picture?
Of course.
Okay.
We have some machines involved in here. The way we did it is completely artisanal.
No, you're good.
Amigos, when people ask for Mexican food, I gotta go back and say, Mexican food from where? You guys be more precise. Mexican food
United States.
is so diverse. You know? It's not the same what Mexicans eat North Mexico when it's mostly desert. that when people eat South Mexico. From Central Mexico, we have one meal that we call mole.
Mole, okay.
Have you ever tasted mole before, senor?
Guacamole?
Yeah, you have?
No. Oh, no.
Yeah, guacamole is another one.
Okay.
Ever taste mole?
Chocolate sauce.
Ever taste mole, Mr. Chris?
Pocket chili.
Have you ever tasted mole before?
I believe so.
Okay. The original recipe brings more than 60 different ingredients.
Wow.
It's mostly peppers.
Okay.
If you are allergic, by the way, to peanuts or almonds, so stay away.
Okay.
But they also bring some peanuts, some nuts, and the ingredient, the chocolate. So chocolate and peppers.
Ah, okay.
All right? Since
That's why you
it is
see-
all about chocolate.
Right.
You see a lot of recipes with peanut butter.
Hmm?
Peanut butter. So this actually has the ground of peanuts.
Yeah, also got peanuts, but you get chocolate.
Right.
Okay. Come closer. Grab
grab one.
corn sheet,
There.
dip it there. Don't hold deep.
Ooh, it looks like
Got
chocolate.
peanuts in it, Ashley.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
It's mixed. Remember, I can't have the nut, but I can have it mixed in. Peanut butter.
Joey?
Very good.
I got one.
Yummy.
Okay then. Oh, chocolate and tequila. Fancy.
Thank you.
How's the tequila?
You got it, kid.
Oh.
Like a milkshake. In Mexico, we say
Salud.
Salud.
The other way, Ashley.
Good. What else in here? Like a milkshake. Yeah,
It is based on milk, so I hope you're not,
lactose intolerant.
intolerant. It's based on milk. You got cacao. You might notice a little grimy. No, it's boiled cacao, but what you have in there is tequila and the Hershey syrup. To make it look nice, put the Hershey syrup there. And of course, ice. We have to turn this into something that looks like this. Sell me already put all the materials that you're gonna need
Okay.
in front of you. All right? So let me guide you step by step. You got that, no? Sí.
If you wish to add sugar to your taste and enjoy the original flavor of Mexican chocolate mexicana.
There we go.
So actually, if you drop off this tablet in boiling water or boiling milk, it will melt. And it's going to be that drink that we taste at the beginning right here. It's going to be that drink. This chocolate is an artisanal chocolate, so the heat out there
Yeah.
is not hot enough to melt it. So you can put it in your pocket,
Okay.
of course, and it will not melt. All right.
Because it doesn't have the butterfat.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So far, you got something that looks like this, right? The first step is, well, I'm going to start folding this one here. Fold it until you get it like this. Very good. All right. Then take it out. This one, the other paper you have in front, put it with the logo facing down the mold, and then put it back the same way. Make sure that it fits once again the way it used to be. That's going to be helpful to make it look round. It's just for fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
my goodness. We do one together? Do you want to put your chocolate in?
Just to the star of Discover Mexico. Her name is Sophie the donkey. Sophie, yeah, that's her name. She knows it. She knows her name. So, chicos, right before you continue, let us have you together, as many as you are, for a fun picture wearing the old style Mexican. And just posing next to Sophie. No jumping on Sophie, okay? You just pose next to her. And later on, you'll be able to check out these pictures that we will take for you. And in case you like it, you can take it with you. If you don't, no problem, okay? So, Linda, are you ready?
Can we do one together since we're mother and daughter?
Okay.
We will go through this garden where you will get to see replicas of these ones all over the place.
Okay.
Before I'll take you to see these replicas, let me explain something to you about these replicas, something that I believe is going to help you to understand what you're about to see in a better way. I want you to be aware that all of these replicas that you're about to see, they all were professionally made. They all were professionally made. Sarcastically, they come from Spain. And the key of these replicas is they all are at the same scale, which is 1 to 25. That means that if you get to see that one bigger than that one, because that's the way it is in real life. To help us out to understand this, we had include people there at the same scale. So when you get to see that people there, we'll help you to understand the perspective. All right? So we were saying, before the Spanish people came to convert everybody here into Catholic, people here used to believe on many gods. And you know, they used to build temples in honor to all of those gods. So the pyramids comes to be temples. They are temples. Those are not condominiums, neither you can buy timesharing here, you know. Those are temples. They get up the wind, they get up the rain, but then archaeologists have found that some of these buildings have other purposes. Come along with me. The authorities here in Mexico got registered more than 10,000 archaeological sites
Really?
all over the country. One of them is called El Tajín. This one is located in the state of Veracruz by the Gulf of Mexico. So this belongs to the Totonacas, which, by the way, you're going to meet them.
Oh.
You know? They are the ones who perform the ritual that we were talking at the mural. And you see, the Totonacas, they have their own particular identity. They have their own way to dress. They have their own language. They have their own ideas and traditions, you know. And they have their weird ideas. See, let me tell you, when the archaeologists came here and they found this building, once they studied it and once they figured it out, they came to the conclusion of saying, this thing comes to be a calendar. The entire thing comes to be a calendar. These Totonacas got the idea to build this up, to count down days, and keep track on time. So each window represents one day. So they light it up on fire, and then the next day they will light the next one. And they keep on going until picture how this temple might look like at the end of the year.
So they kept the fires going in each window as they kept going?
Exactly.
Wow.
Until they fulfill the cycle and restart all over again. All right? So then, what we have in here comes to be a calendar. On your left-hand side, these are the replicas of Chichen Itza. Have you ever been to Chichen Itza? No? It's not that far from here. So then that means we're talking about the Mayans one more time. So then let me say this one more time. Those Mayans were indeed very clever people and a very advanced civilization. Among other fields, Mayans were excellent mathematicians. They were also excellent astronomers. And this building is a proof of these Mayans' smartness. This is a temple. This building is a temple in honor to the sun god. Mayans called Kukulkan. Mayans represent the sun god by a flying plumed serpent. All right? This building is, by the way, one of the new 7 wonders of the world, man-made. And it's not just because how it looks, it's because how it works. Here, let me try to explain this to you. We should start from the fact that the wall is not flat. It's rounded, goes revolving, it travels around the sun, takes 365 days to go all around, and 6 hours, you know, to go all the way around. Then we divide that journey through on the equinoxes and the solstices, you know. So when the equinox happens in summer and in spring or autumn, the sun will sit down this way, hitting these corners in such a perfect angle that we will have sunlight going through these triangles that get reflected on the wall. The sunlight that you get to see reflected on the wall is going to give you that optical effect that it seems to be the body of the snake, the sun god, that is coming down, and then that's joining to the head.
Okay, you're right.
You know?
Oh, very cool.
But that's not it. When the wall keeps on going and goes through those days when the solstice happens in summer and then in winter, as it shows on the picture right there, exactly half of the pyramid will be in the shade and half of the pyramid will be under the sunlight, pointing you out half of the trip of the earth around the sun. So they were clever.
Yes.
The following one comes to be the observatory. I would like to say that doesn't take a genius to realize that this is an observatory. If you look at it, looks like an observatory. Mayans were good at this. They didn't have all this technology that we have now, but they made a calendar for Mars, for Venus, for the moon, for the sun. And then since you cannot see nothing else farther than that with your bare eyes, so they got these 4 elements and put them together in one same calendar, which, by the way, lasts for 5,500 years, you know. And that was the calendar that we all were talking about last 2012, when many people were expecting the end of the world, you know. I remember even Hollywood gave us quite a few movies about how the world was going to end in 2012. When the Maya calendar ends, the world will end. Well, it just came to be a new beginning. I guess we all need new beginnings once in a while.
Sir,
Right? Yeah?
I need to use the restroom. May I walk back and wait for you at the tables here?
If you want to, yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't think I wanted to.
By today's days, the most popular sport in this country is because of the British. You know, before the British and before football, soccer, these people here, they had their own sport, their own game that is called Pok-Tapok. Pok-Tapok is Mayan for ball game. All right? They play this game with a rubber ball. In order to score in this game, the ball must go through those rings that we see at the wall, which might make you think that it might look like basketball, but not quite, because at this game, players cannot touch the ball with their hands. Neither they cannot kick the ball with their feet, you know. They got to use the rest of their body. They can hit the ball with the hips, thighs, knees, shoulders, sometimes elbows. So when, I guess you might break your neck, it was a heavy ball, you know. But then, when you put it that way, it's not that easy, right? Well, once we have a winner, the captain of the winning team, then is going to earn the honor to be the one who's going to get sacrificed at the Temple of the Warriors.
lucky.
So when you think about it,
You don't
You
want
don't
to
that
wanna
explains us why Mexico has never won the World Cup.
Yeah, actually.
Right? But they're going to build a pillar
Yes.
in memory of that warrior, where they will get the image of that warrior, all the credentials, the achievements, and then they will become immortals. So you die to become immortal.
So you become a god.
Well, I don't know. I don't think they call them gods, but they will become immortals. You have a
They
pillar,
would
you
live
have your
with the
image
god.
at this temple of the warriors. You know?
Yeah, they would live with the gods, but they wouldn't become one.
I mean, I'm just glad that we see things differently.
Right.
Yes. That would be difficult.
we've been talking about the jaguars. We said they live in Chiapas. This is also in Chiapas, also from the Mayans, but in this case earlier in time, and far away from Chichen Itza. We have Palenque. This is the palace where the king of the Mayans used to live. There was somebody called Pacal, so this is the palace of the king Pacal. And then archaeologists found that building there. It's nothing but the grave of the king Pacal. You know, very humble, right?
Yes.
I say earlier, Mayans was one of the most complete civilizations. Mayans, they were the first one having a written language. And let me tell you this, Mayans, they have their own Bible, by the way.
Okay.
The Mayan Bible is called Popol Vuh. That's Mayan for sacred book. You know, the sacred book explained to us that it's not one, but two brothers, twin brothers, that got in charge of create everything. I guess when the Spanish people came here to avoid having the Spanish people destroying this temple, the natives covered it with mud or something, you know. And I guess that's part of why the trees grow and all the bushes all around and make it look like a mountain. These are the largest ones in Mexico. This archaeological site is called Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan is located nearby Mexico City, far away from the Mayans, so as you can tell, Mayans are not involved into this. You know? Somehow, all the credit goes to the Aztecs. When the Aztecs got down here, early the 1300s, and the Aztecs found Mexico, everybody else became Mexica. If you were born where Mexico was found, so you became Mexica. Actually, it must be a matter of different rules of grammar for the languages, but we're not supposed to be called Mexicanos. We're supposed to be called Mexicas. See? And then the Mexica Empire was the greatest of all times in the human history. You know, picture this, try to picture this. It goes all the way from California, across to Texas, all the way south to what's now called Costa Rica. You know, until, chronologically speaking, in the 1500s, we have the Spanish people arrival. The next replica is going to help us out to understand how this conquest was possible. I wouldn't call them that way precisely, it's the same year. Exactly, but you know what they did?
They went on top of the pyramid.
Exactly. We have a very clear message in here. When the Spanish people understood that all these pyramids were the native temples, to convert those natives into Catholics, I got to destroy their temples. So they cannot worship their gods no more. I'm going to use this material and use it to build a church, but this time it's going to be a Catholic church, right on top of their temples. That way, when they come to visit their temple,
There it is.
exactly. You know, this same situation, we can get to see it all over the Mexican territories. Even here in Cozumel. We are within the Mayan territories. For the Mayans, the island of Cozumel is in honor to the goddess of fertility. They call it Chel. So Mayans built a temple in honor to Chel here in Cozumel. When the Spanish people came, well, they built a Catholic church right on top. You know, that way, if you're going to go visit Chel, you end up walking into a Catholic church. By the year of 1521, the Spanish people named these territories the New Spain. And then, you know, just because they say so, everything became property of Spain. I dare to say that even people became property of Spain. You know? They don't call them slaves, but they treat them like. Digo, mi señora ya está. Si quiere, ayúdame en algo. Amigos, this is Cozumel downtown back in the 50s, in the 60s, when, as you see, very few people used to live in here. The last census counted more than 100,000 people living on this island already. It wasn't until late the 60s and early 70s when we had someone called Jacques Cousteau. He was the one who came and found was part of the second most important river here. And then he was the one who started bringing people here to scuba dive and discover this wonderful underwater world that we have in here, you know? And that is how Cozumel became a tourist destination. Let me tell you, Cozumel is the only one place in Mexico where you can legally buy black coral, all right?
Really?
These people will have to risk their lives going under the water over 300 feet down deep, where the black coral grows, to collect it. So they take it out and they do beautiful pieces out of it.
Right.
Which, by the way, in case you didn't get to see them, at the gift shop there are some of them. Beautiful. All right, amigos. We can take a restroom break right now. You guys need it?
Need the restroom break?
Idea too, we have these people coming to visit. These people came from the region of Veracruz. So these people are descended from the Totonacas. The Totonacas, as you see, they also are unique. They have their own particular way to dress, to talk, their own particular ideas. So they came here to share some of those traditions with us. They came here to perform this ritual. This ritual is according to their beliefs, in honor to the rain god. They call Tlaloc. We are within the Mayan territories.
Oh.
If you ask to a Mayan, what's the name of the rain god, they will say Chac. So people name these gods different ways, all right? So this is in honor to Tlaloc. We're supposed to be asking for rain, please. Don't listen.
Yeah.
We got plenty last night, all right? So they're going to start this performance by having this dancing at the ground level.
Oh,
No?
okay.
But then, to make sure the rain god will get the message, they got to get closer to deliver the message.
Okay.
They're gonna
Oh,
get
so
on
they
top
go
of
way
this
up
pole
there.
and continue with the ceremony all the way up there.
Oh.
All right?
Okay.
So they're gonna get closer to Tlaloc. So they're gonna make sure Tlaloc will get the message.
Okay.
All right? They're ready, so let's give them an applause to have this.
Yeah, no, 4 of them go up.
Oh, okay.
But there's no safety net. It's just climbing.
Yeah, there is just the
Oh
rope.
no, they're not just climbing. They're gonna fall down.
They're gonna what?
They're not
They're
gonna
gonna use
fall.
the rope.
They'll come down.
Oh.
They'll come down on the rope.
I saw
Come down
this
on the rope.
Okay,
performance.
like
It was
swing.
really, really cool. You saw this yesterday.
We saw them do it yesterday.
In the village in Costa Maya.
Okay, Jeff?
Before we got on the boat.
Okay.
Oh, that's a
all
little
high.
rocky.
Yeah,
this
that's a
one's a little
not
rocky.
look, that's steep.
The rocky one.
It's going to be 5 feet up.
Is that what it is?
That's
Yeah,
what
I'm
you
high
said
enough to
yesterday.
hurt yourself.
When they get up there and they twist the ropes.
Oh, wow.
Can't be afraid of heights to do this.
Oh, geez, then they spin.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh yeah, they come down spinning.
They do?
Yeah.
And upside
Oh.
down.
And upside down.
We have to have the ropes just right.
Oh, my gosh.
And around them.
So they spin first and then they go upside down.
They
Can
fall.
you imagine the blood in your head?
Oh, and he also does the flute and
And he flute drum.
While he's doing it?
always upside down.
Oh, my goodness.
You gotta
I
be
noticed I
really...
didn't see him put it down, so.
No, he keeps it with him.
So there's one spotter.
That's it.
Just behind the trees over there.
Holy cow.
How do you stop it from wobbling?
You don't.
Nothing's coming out there.
Oh, I know. I've never seen that.
They wound it all up, so it's ready.
Almost. They have to tie it around themselves.
There they go. Oh, there we go. So the one guy didn't get his.
Can you imagine the conversations up there?
They're like, I don't get paid enough for this.
I don't think anyone does.
Anybody up for a Corona?
Yeah. Sure after that.
Who wants to go drinking after this?
Probably need to go drinking before.
I think they drink before,
Yeah.
yeah.
Liquid courage.
Oh my gosh. Well, I guess desperate times, you know. If you needed rain, you had to do something.
Imagine, they used to do this in the trees.
I know, exactly.
So they had to have a tall enough tree to do it.
Right,
And
right.
then build this thing on a cage
Yeah.
on top.
I wonder how many people hit their head.
Quit thinking that.
Yeah. I do not want to see that.
Oh, just back in ancient times.
Then they just became a pillar.
That's true.
Yeah, there we go.
Self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
up and got in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Music stopped anything again?
No, don't say that, Trudy.
Check that out. He's getting on his feet with no safety line.
Oh my gosh. Oh, geez, yeah. And it's so wobbly.
Yeah, it is.
Can you imagine if it's raining or windy?
Oh.
I'd be like, nope. Well, then you don't need to do it. It's already raining. Oh my God, he's dancing.
I'm glad times have changed. Yeah, we have weathermen now. Yeah. Irrigation now. Here they go.
He's still up top.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
It's about the God's rays coming down. Oh yeah. They look like they're just chilling.
Yeah, they do. Bless
Bless
you.
you. All the blood rushing to
Yeah.
their head. Taking a nap. Nobody fell.
Wow, they made it.
Do it tomorrow, so you come back tomorrow. Amigos,
funny.
let me tell you something about these people. What we saw here has, in the essences, a religious meaning. Therefore, their principles will keep them from accepting a salary to do this. So then they got no salary here. This company, in order to have them here, offer them a round-trip ticket, a place to stay, and food to eat.
Okay.
But when it comes about the money, their belief says that whatever the observers want to share with them, that's going to be the fair amount. So as in church, they will come around with the hat.
Okay.
You got no obligation. If you want to share something with them,
Okay.
put it in the hat. They will appreciate it for sure. All right?
Okay. Oh, they saw the stuff. Oh, look at the hat. Got it.
By the year of 1521, the Spanish people named these territories the New Spain. And then, suddenly, everything changes here. Natives must stop building their temples. They got to stop performing the rituals and those human sacrifices. And then natives were forced to build these type of buildings. This is a Catholic church and a convent together that it looks very European already.
Right, right.
Then we will have this colonial era, when these territories used to be property of Spain. This colonial era lasted for about 300 years, from the 1500s to the 1800s. Actually, to be more precise, from 1521 to 1810. All right? So let me tell you about this colonial era.
These churches are huge.
In Mexico, we have many cities having the same name as other European cities, you know? The three most important cities in Mexico, I got to put on first place Mexico City, which is, by the way, the capital of this country. On second place, we have Guadalajara in the state of Jalisco, which, by the way, there is a city called Guadalajara in Spain. And the third one is Monterrey in the state of Nuevo León. So when these territories became property of Spain, it didn't take too long to the Spanish people to realize that these territories are very rich in natural resources. So then the King of Spain started selling these natural resources. So besides just having Spanish people coming in here, we also got other European people coming in here as well. Most likely Germans, British, we got the French, and even more while and after the Second World War, we have a lot of Europeans running away from war, moving to Mexico. So Mexico used to be diverse. Having all these people coming here, we became even more diverse. You know, that's why it's not rare when you go visit these major cities to run into these German-looking Mexicans, you know, or European-looking Mexicans in general, you know. So the only way for us to recognize that you are talking to another Mexican or not is when you hear people talking. All right? So if you come to me talking to me in Spanish with no accent, hey, you will qualify as Mexicans. All right? That same diversity, we can see it through the architecture. Let's walk around. Some of these buildings will tell you about France. Some others will tell you about Spain.
Gothic.
This one is located in the state of Guerrero. There is one town that is called Tasco, where we have the British people going there to work on the silver mines. Tasco produces sterling silver. Sterling is the finest silver. And we also have some of those samples at the gift shop. All right? On your left-hand side, this is the main square of Guadalajara. The second most important city. You can find some Greek influences too. You'll find a French Gothic style at this cathedral by having those pointing endings. Amigos, Guadalajara is also known as the place of the tequila and the mariachi. Well, we already mentioned that tequila comes from that region that is called Tequila, which is right there next to Guadalajara. So Guadalajara is so important that we'll also get the credit for tequila. The second thing that comes from Guadalajara, the mariachi. I know that we all see the mariachis as a very Mexican thing, am I right? Well, we had a French coming to Guadalajara, so the mariachi, even the word mariachi is in French, let me tell you that, you know. Do you speak any French? Any of you speak French, by the way? Nobody? The word marriage in French, you said that's mariage. Mariage. Just put the E at the end and you say mariachi. If we have French people living in this city and they play that music in their mariage, so that is a mariachi band.
Gotcha.
You know? And besides, that explains to me those tight pants that like to wear. Come on, got to be something French. You know? All right then, amigos, it's time for us to talk about tequila.
Tequila!
Hey.
Hey! Look at these buildings.
Mexico is so diverse.
Yes.
To talk about tequila, we have to talk about one particular region. Ashley, could you please come closer and read out loud the name of this town?
Tequila!
Tequila. See? Tequila, as we say, is the spirit of the agave, but not just any kind of agave. Tequila is the spirit of the blue agave that grows endemically there. Tequila got the perfect weather conditions for these blue agaves. If you take those blue agaves out of those weather conditions, they will just not grow. We did it for showing purposes. We brought some blue agaves from the region of Tequila all the way to Cozumel, so we can show those blue agaves to people. So let's go ahead and take a look. I got my friend Jimmy here. Let me tell you that I grew up nearby the region of Tequila, you know, so I'm familiar with these blue agaves. So when I get to see these blue agaves here, I can tell right away. These poor agaves are having a hard time here. They're getting sick. All those nuts should not be there. They don't have them, you know. These agaves will not grow at the sea level. The region of Tequila is by 1,200 meters above the sea level. But neither the soil here in Cozumel got everything they need. The soil up in the region of Tequila is one of those reddish, very rich in minerals and iron. And besides, they're next to a volcano, so I guess there must be something to do with it. You know? However, these are the blue agaves. The longest waiting part of the process to produce tequila is to wait for that blue agave to grow and get mature. They will take 12 years to get mature.
Wow.
12 years. When they got mature, people will do the harvesting. They use a tool similar to this one to cut off all the stalk from the agave until we have something that looks like this. That is just the heart of the agave. By the resemblance, we call them pineapples.
Yep.
All right? Some of those pineapples can get to weight up to 120 pounds. You're going to need around 15 pounds of blue agave to produce 1 liter of tequila.
Wow.
So that's the key of everything, see? You got to wait 12 years to make 8 bottles of tequila, you know? So I grew up nearby the region of Tequila, so I've been in troubles with tequila a lot. But there is one story that it finally helped me out to understand about tequila. Alright, and I would like to share that story with you. According to my ancestral beliefs, all the shining stars at night, they all are goddesses. Alright? And those goddesses, by the way, they're jealous of the beauty of the sun god, because when the sun god comes out, no one else will shine but the sun god. Well, there is one story that comes from the region of Tequila that it says that a blue shiny star, they named it Mayahuel, got to see Quetzalcoatl one time and she fell in love with Quetzalcoatl. She was deeply in love with Quetzalcoatl. And she was very sad because she never gets to share with Quetzalcoatl. So then, she was so deep in love that she quit being a goddess by accepting mortality gas to share with the sun, gas quetzalcoatl. The blue shiny stuff that I am talking to you about? The blue agave. So, if technically speaking we say tequila is the spirit of the blue agave, but according to my ancestors, the blue agave is agaves called Mayagüez, so tequila comes to be a woman. And when you put it away and you look back, everything makes sense. Seriously. So tequila is a woman. So when you deal with tequila, tequila as a woman can make you live a very enjoyable and unforgettable experience, but on the other hand, she can make you live your worst nightmare. You know? So it's up to how you treat her. So this is the key with tequila. It is agaves. If you are gentle with her, she's gonna be gentle with you. If you are mean with her, she's gonna be meaner with you. So that's why when people don't take the time to appreciate this and they start doing shots of tequila and drinking that tequila so quick, she gets upset. She doesn't like quickies. Alright? That's why when people do quickies, they just slap you in the face and make you pay the consequences. Don't drink it quick. Alright? Very good. Let's go meet these guys. Come with me. The government wanted to get involved into this to make sure that everything is illegal. And yeah, sure, making sure that everybody pays taxes in here. Right? The second one was established by the very same tequila factories. That one is called el Consejo Regulador del Tequila. Tequila Regulator Council. That is the one in charge of saying what is allowed to do, what is not allowed to do, and how things got to be done when we talk about tequila. So in order for you to put your product in the market, you must get the approval of those two organs. Alright? Now let me tell you what happens in the 50s and 60s when suddenly the tequila industry was going through a crisis. You know, these people back that time didn't think about replanting the blue agaves. So suddenly they were running out of those blue agaves. So picture that, people were freaking out, wondering what can we do then? El Consejo Regulador del Tequila came with this idea. They say, we're going to let these tequila factories to use sugars from other sources besides the blue agave. But they set up a quality standard. They say if those factories still want to name the beverage tequila, then at least 51% of the sugars still must come from that blue agave. They're going to be able to complete it with other type of sugars, most likely sugarcane. The most common one, sugarcane. And then, you know, they never went back on this. So that still applies by these days, and that's going to give us our primary classification on tequila. First thing you should know, is that brand of tequila 100% agave or just tequila? Out of these two, Mrs. Linda. We'll pick that one.
Yes.
And just because you're guessing, right?
I'm just guessing. Yes,
Exactly.
I don't know.
I said 100%.
Look at that.
If you take a look in these two labels,
Okay.
can you tell which one is 100% agave?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you have a tequila factory and you bother to produce tequila 100% agave, hey, that is something that you want to show off.
Right.
So that's information that you will put on big imprints at the front label, where people will get to see it right away. Actually, I got news for you. Among all the brands from the company Jose Cuervo, this is the only one brand that is not 100% agave. And somehow, this is one of the most popular in the U.S.
It's good marketing.
One of the cheapest tequila.
Good marketing.
So starting from there.
Right.
It's one of the cheapest tequila.
Yeah.
Why this is one of the cheapest
Yeah.
tequila? Precisely because it's not 100% agave.
Right. Okay.
So let's think about it. When it's about rum, when it comes about rum, we all know rum is made out of sugarcane. In Mexico, with this weather we harvest sugarcane twice a year.
Okay.
When we're talking about whiskey is made out of corn.
Right.
We also harvest corn twice a year.
Right.
Vodka is made out of potatoes. We got potatoes going on all the year around. Cognac is made out of grapes. We also have the grapes here in Mexico. Tequila is made out of the blue agave. And then again, that blue agave will make you wait 12 years.
Oh my gosh.
So tequila 100% agave must be more expensive than tequila that is not 100% agave. Makes sense, right? Okay. So once you're aware of that situation, what we use this type of tequilas for? Read the labels. It says in here, this is to mix.
Yeah.
If you're going to make a margarita or any other cocktail that brings tequila, it makes no sense for you to spend $2,700 US buying a premium brand of tequila if you will put salt, lime, Coca-Cola in there, and ice, and it will ruin it. Alright? So then, the first statement. People who knows about tequila will tell you, you should have your tequila straight at room temperature. Alright? Very good. Let me explain to you what we have in front. I know that we all believe that these are the tequila glasses, because remember back in college, we used it a lot, right? Well, let me tell you, back in 2004, el Consejo Regulador del Tequila came together to design the shape of this glass. If you pay attention, you will notice that it's not champagne glass. No, this is the tequila glass. The shape of these glasses are specifically designed to allow you to appreciate tequila in here, alright? Very good. Okay, so then have in your hands, from the left to the right, the first glass. This is tequila blanco. Please, let's do this step by step. We're going to get all our 5 senses involved into understanding tequila. So let's do this step by step. When I say watch it, doesn't mean drink it. Alright? So at this moment, just watch it. See through the glass and notice one thing.
Clear.
I cannot see the worm in here. I don't see scorpions in here neither. You know, I don't know, maybe because of John Wayne and his movies. But many people come here thinking the best tequila is the one that brings a worm in there. Wrong. If you find a worm in the bottle, it's not tequila what you have in your hands, by the way. That's mezcal. Other people with other view, different agaves, different process, different tradition, different everything. If you get to see a scorpion floating in here, it's not the most deadly tequila. That is sotol. Once again, other people from other regions with different type of agaves, different ideas, different process, you know. So tequila then, by quality standards, got to be free of impurities. Crystal clear. If you lean the glass and if you bring the tequila around the glass, then hold your glass stand still, you see that we will get this film of tequila that gets stick on the glass. Then right on top, we call it the crown. From the crown, we get to see tears falling down, leaving legs behind. So then, not from what someone else tells you, but from something that you can see through the glass, we all can tell that tequila is not like water. So then that explains that we shouldn't be drinking tequila as water. You know, tequila is oil. Very good. Before we smell and talk about the aromas from tequila, let's get your senses ready. In front of you there is a dish. At this moment, I need to grab the lime skin. Here. Grab that piece of lime skin. Put it under your nose. Close your eyes and twist it. That will suddenly clear up your sinus. Take away any previous aromas that you had in your sinus, the chocolate aroma, everything. You clear up your sinus will get more receptive. I'm going to ask you to do it this way. Lean the glass, bring the glass to you so don't bend over your neck, and get your nose at the bottom part of the glass. Then close your eyes, focus on your nose. Then I'm going to ask you to go little by little from the lower part of the glass to the upper part of the glass to appreciate all the aromas that we can find in tequila. I know in the bottom of this glass we'll find a strong aroma of alcohol. But if you go to the upper part of the glass, the aroma of alcohol will come milder, so it's easier for you to reach the aromas behind the alcohol. Okay, now let's play this game. How would you describe these aromas? Give me ideas. Peppery? Okay. Bad news? Well, when you do it the right way, good news. Many people say sweet. You know, you might not notice the sweetness, but to me it makes sense. Tequila is made out of these sugars. Looks like big honey, tastes as sweet as honey. So you might notice the aroma, the sweetness aroma here. But you know, to me, tequila smells like flowers. You know. Anyway, before we taste it, actually, let me make things easier for you. And this way, we also can involve our sense of touching. So I'm going to ask you to put some drop of the tequila in your hand. And then I'm going to ask you to rub your hands. I need you to put tequila in your skin. You will notice that, hey, tequila is not sticky at all.
No, it's not.
It's quite enjoyable. It's soft. You know?
It is.
Okay. Little by little, the alcohol has been evaporating from your hand.
You're right.
Once you feel your hands are dry, go back and smell your hand. And then there you have the agave in your hands. That is how the agave, the herbal aromas from the agave, right there.
It's a nice smell.
Yes, it is. Actually, let me put a little bit in case I get lucky. So, before we taste it, let me tell you this. They say nobody can judge one brand by the first sip. But when it comes about tequila, I like to put it this way better. You know? To me, always, no matter what brand, always the first sip of tequila comes to be a warning. You know? This goddess is such a polite goddess that it is warning you in advance and telling you, hey, careful. So you better handle with care. I'm going to ask you now to drink a little bit of water. The intention is to clear your flavor from your mouth. So, let's do it this way. You will first breathe in through your nose, hold your breathing, have a little kiss of tequila. It's the first kiss, so don't go all the way right away. Okay? A little one, and keep that tequila in your mouth. Swish it around your mouth for about 5 seconds. Then swallow it, and finally, breathe out through your mouth. Alright? Just one time, don't go for the second one right away. Woo! Well, I can tell, Mr. Judy got it warming. Yeah? Okay, let's talk about what this tequila is making you feel. What's your body feeling right now?
Warm.
Mhm.
Yes, definitely warm.
Warming out right here on the chest. But notice this. My mouth is still tasting like tequila.
Yes.
You know? And that taste of tequila is going to be there for a while. That's the key. That's what you should use to understand how you should drink your tequila. I mean, as long as you still got the taste of tequila in your mouth, hey, there is no need to go back and
Yeah.
get more, and then get more, and then get more. Slow down. Enjoy the tequila that you are still tasting while you're having a nice conversation with your friends. You know, I'm having a good time. But eventually you will notice that taste is gone. When you notice that taste is gone, then it is this goddess giving you permission to come back and have a second kiss. And you will notice that second kiss went from being this warning that we just got, and now it has become some sort of an agreement. Now this goddess is telling you, seriously? No matter the warning, seriously? Well, in case you still want to do this, So this was the right way. Once again, seriously, if you're gentle with tequila is going to be gentle with you as well. Let's go ahead and have a second sip, and you will notice a big difference already.
Sweeter.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's sweeter.
It doesn't burn that much.
No, it doesn't burn as much. You're right.
It's the only
Woo!
just getting the warning.
It just burns. It's still warm though.
Ah, yes. All right. So then, will the taste of tequila in your mouth is gone? Go back and have a third sip, and then a fourth one. You got the right amount of tequila which a standard person can handle within the time that we're gonna take. All right. So go little by little. Keep enjoying your tequila blanco while I continue with my presentation, and eventually I will let you know when we go to the next class.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Amigos, the most important person in this industry is called Maestro Tequilero. El Maestro Tequilero is that one artisan in charge of creating all these brands. Now, you don't go to college to read some books and get a Maestro Tequilero degree. This is a job that it has been done by generations. And it is a job that you learn through your senses and your experiences. So, when you're a child and your father takes you with him to the factory, and while he is busy working, hey, you get nothing else to do but pulling all around the factory. Without even knowing, you're getting your senses charged.
Right.
You get used to the temperatures of these rooms, how humid it should be, how much light should be there, the aromas from here, the flavors from here. So, but when your father is thinking about retiring, those Maestro Tequileros, they don't want to have their brands, their creations passing away along with them. So to keep their brand in the market, he would have to reveal the secret to someone. And who better than the child that has been following you for the last 15 years and now he has all his senses charged? Let me tell you this, if that Maestro Tequilero doesn't have a son, but he has a daughter, hey, we also got Maestro Tequileras, and they got very good taste to produce tequila. Alright? I will describe to you now how tequila is made, and that will also help us out to understand how tequila, as women, they all are beautiful, but no one is the same. Alright? We already mentioned the longest waiting part of the process must be to wait for those blue agaves to grow and get mature. Let me explain it to you. The tequila industry is the only one industry of this nature where now we take care of the agaves. We are in charge now to reproduce the agaves, to grow the agaves, to give to the agaves all the maintenance they need, and then once they got mature, to do the harvesting and restart all over again. Alright, actually back in 1974, we have the UNESCO coming to the region of tequila to declare those blue agave fields as a World Heritage Site. So this means they're protected by us. No one will come now to cut off those blue agaves to build a shopping mall on top. Those blue agave fields must remain as blue agave fields from now on, assuring us tequila for the upcoming generations. You know? So we send those pineapples over to the factory. At the factory, people will get them, cut them in two, and we put them into ovens. We use ovens made out of bricks and stones, and we use steam to cook the agaves. Alright? What happened was the process of cooking those blue agaves, the carbs that we have in the blue agaves turns into sugars. We get the agave out of the oven, you smash it, and you get something that looks like bee honey, something that tastes as sweet as honey. So this is the agave syrup, which, by the way, let me tell you this. This is complex sugar. It takes longer to get into your system. So people who suffer diabetes, they can use this type of sugar to sweeten up your tea, your coffee. So then that's why I say, if tequila comes from such a healthy base, tequila is going to end up being really good for you. Alright, El Maestro Tequilero will come and put the yeast. And the yeast will take care of turning these sugars into alcohol. Now before the Spanish people came, you can find that beverage all over the country. You know, after